What's up, superstars? Welcome back to Crypto Cornucopia, where you come for the latest crypto news, education, and a path to prosperity. Set the video speed to 1.5, like, subscribe, and share. Let's get up to 100 subscribers. Use the links below and ask questions to let me know what you want to learn about. We'll do videos on it. Watch out for the scammers down below in the comments. If it looks weird, it is weird. All right, so today, the Bitcoin crash. Should you worry? We'll get to that in 1 second. First, let's take a look at the markets and see how they're doing right here. All right, so this is Trade the Chain. They take a look at sentiment through various social outlets, and look at that, 41 on the Bitcoin daily sentiment. So people are feeling a little skittish. We're down to 58,951, and I'll tell you why that is a very important price level later on in the video. Ethereum, though, at 49, so it's barely budging from 51, 52 where it was yesterday. And it's important to take a look at what is hot today. 1 inch, why is that pumping at 43%? Shiba Inu, speculation. Track, this one and OMI are both supply chain tokens, and they help for the efficiency of that. So that we might see that narrative coming out now. That's another one that is part of that is VeChain. Okay, and let's take a look at the charts real quick. All right, so we've got. All right, well, let's switch right over here to Google Trends. All right, so I typed in crypto and Bitcoin, and notice that crypto is on the uptrend. Bitcoin has been up and down, and this coincides with the peaks of, so this is November, around January when it was pumping and then came back down. March when it pumped and came back down. And so notice that Bitcoin, which is the red line, and crypto itself is a trend that when it starts going up, then that means the rest of the market's going up. People are searching for it. We're taking a look at it. All right, so let's head back to Market Rebellion. Take a look at this line right here. All right, this is the 20-day SMA, simple moving average. And notice how we're sitting on it right now. And it's right about 59. A lot of the technical analysis YouTubers that I've been watching are talking about the specific level, and then what the ranges are, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But right now, we essentially want to say it. We want to see it stay above or right at 59, which is what we are at right now. Bullish news would be it rising up above that. Some negative news and a potential drop further would be right below that line. Okay, so let's get into it. The Bitcoin crash, should you worry? Well, let's take a look at why it happened. All right, this is a common occurrence in cryptocurrency. All over the world, it's traded 24/7. And on these other exchanges outside the United States, they have leverage up to 20%. Some exchanges, I'm sorry, not percent, X, 20x or 50x. It used to be 100x. That was causing huge crashes. So here you can see this is from the daily crypto byte Market Rebellion. This was the last big crash. So you can see that it was 2.2 billion, and this was just over 500 million. So not nearly as big, but it definitely has something to do with the fall in the Bitcoin price. And the reason is you have people that are leveraged high and essentially betting a lot of money. Once Bitcoin goes down, and there are people that kind of mess with the market, they call them whales, or it just could happen naturally. But if they put a large order, they just go into an exchange and then just basically plop down a sell, then it brings the price down. And if it's a large amount, it brings it down large enough, then it's going to liquidate someone. Now, when that person or individual entity gets liquidated, that is a sell order. That creates another push down on the price. And if you think about it that way, you understand that that keeps happening, and that's called a cascade effect. And right at the bottom here, essentially you can see that, you know, this from bottom up. There were some liquidations over here, but there was a big enough liquidation where it kept rising and rising and rising because people kept getting liquidated over, and that created more sell, 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 sell. And then you can see that, again, over $500 million in the last 24 hours was liquidated. So Jason Pizzino brought up exactly what was liquidated. It's not just Bitcoin. You had actually 300 million in ETH. Actually, so I didn't realize that. It was actually more ETH than Bitcoin. So 183 million in Bitcoin, 29 million in Polkadot, 21 million in Solana, 21 in Doge, 22 in XRP. So you can see it's a little bit of everything. And I think it usually starts with one of the bigger guys. I think it usually starts with Bitcoin. But then there's kind of like a run on the bank, if you will. So people start selling because they see that cascade effect is already happening. They start taking the money out. Other people get liquidated in other things. I guess it's a possibility that one group or entity went to each and every single one of these and just sold big. But I like when this happens because you can BTFD by the freaking dip. But on top of that, these type of people that are leveraging too much are washed out of the market. So I personally feel like it's healthy, and that's good for you to understand, so you're not freaking out and selling. Which is just going to take a little bit more to get back up. All right, and this is what I was talking about earlier. The 20-day, there's SMA and EMA. The EMA here is a little bit lower than the SMA. You can that yellow line is the SMA, and you can see that it's kind of sitting on it, but even more so, the EMA is literally at it on this. Okay, so important to know that we are holding at those lines, but then we also have some other slower moving trend lines that tend to be something that it bounces off of. But if we go back to the EMA, which is the yellow line, this is Benjamin Cowen, one of the most respected technical analysis on YouTube. He's pointing out here is on the yellow line, actually the green line here, but essentially over time, Bitcoin, this is the Bitcoin chart, bounces off of these lines repeatedly. Okay, of course there are times where it goes underneath it, and you can see when it did, what happened. We had a negative side effect, a bearish trend, but a lot of times it bounces off, and that's what we're looking at here. So if it goes below that, then that's a sign that, you know, we might be heading into a bearish trend, something to watch for. And I'll bring you more on that. On the daily crypto bite, back to market rebellion. They're talking about the same thing here on the line. Okay, so this specific, they call this a trend line. So you can see there's a lot of action, bouncing off, bouncing off, bouncing off. It was support, but then it broke through when we went to that bearish trend over here. What he's saying is usually when something happens over and over on a specific line, it becomes support. And you'll notice that this is the SMA, the simple moving average, is right at that as well. So what he's saying is that he thinks most likely that this is a good support right here, and this is at 59K, which is where we're sitting at now. Okay, moving on. Ethereum, just showing the trend line, and AJ was saying that there are two things that can happen, just like previously, or what I was talking about on the last slide. If BTC breaks down, that means that everything else is going to go with it. It's going to essentially drag the market with it. So what he's saying here is, with this trend line, if ETH breaks below it, then he's buying in. If it bounces off of it, and Bitcoin decides to go back up, and most likely Ethereum will too, then he's going to buy. Either way, he's going to buy, and he thinks it's this could be a jump off point, a takeoff point. So if it does decide to bounce off this trend line and head back up, he's buying in, and he's expecting it to go much higher. So it's going to be like a trampoline, if you will. Depends on how much support is in the market. And it looks like there's a lot, and we'll get into that with the news. All right, so this is a very cool chart from Market Rebellion. This is the total market cap of not just Bitcoin, but the crypto market, okay? And this is a huge cup and handle. All right, I can't draw lines on this, but if that's a tactical analysis term, but essentially what it is there's a cup and then there's a handle, okay? And this is one of the most bullish formations out there. And what they're saying is that essentially the crypto market has been coiling up and ready to take off. Now this is a daily chart, 1-day chart. So it could take a week or two, but what they're expecting is for it to explode back up, which happens a lot with cup and handles. And over on Token Metrics, Bill Noble talks about those all the time, and they usually work out. He'll say, hey, cup and handle forming here, and swear to you within a week or two that thing takes off. All right, so again, bullish news. BNY Mellon and bank adoption. BNY Mellon urges Ireland, the country, to adopt crypto rules before EU regulations, report reveals. So BNY Mellon, one of the oldest banks, oh, I'm sorry, it is the nation's oldest bank, said Thursday it will begin financing Bitcoin and other digital currencies. They literally went to Ireland and said, we need you to offer more clear regulations so we can offer those services. Oldest bank in America. All right. It will eventually allow digital currencies to pass through the same financial network it currently uses for more traditional holdings like U.S. Treasury bonds and equities. So banks are moving into this sector. They were slow moving, but now there's more adoption and they are moving forward. Okay, moving on to mainstream media. You have on CNBC, they're talking about Bitcoin more and more and more. Just something to notice here. All right, layer twos. This is about Altcoin Daily. Polygon just crossed 1 billion transactions that have been processed on the Polygon POS chain. So this is huge. 1 billion transactions since I think it was just last year that they launched. And it's just showing that more and more people are using it. And if you look at the chart for, not the chart, but the if you look at Polygon today, notice it has not gone down. It only went down about 3%. And as a matter of fact, I think it's gone back up since then. So it's up around 180, 185 right now. And notice that. Notice whatever coins are doing very well today compared to the trend. So if the trend is going down and they're going the opposite directions, just imagine what's going to happen when the trend goes back up. All right, so this is another very important stat here. The TVL, total value locked. Okay, that's in DeFi. That means that if you take your token and you put it into a DeFi protocol, you can earn yield on it. The total value locked is an imperfect metric, but it's still nice to see layer 2s on Ethereum cross the $4 billion mark. So $4 billion is being locked in the layer 2 solutions of Ethereum, and people are earning yield off of that. Okay, and this is an overall view of the total value locked everywhere. All right, so on Ethereum, not just, the other one was layer 2s. This is on Ethereum, 163 billion. ChainLINK, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, Terra, Avalanche, Phantom, and Polygon. I mean, add this up. You know, all this money has been moving in. And if you're not in, you need to ask yourself why. Why not? Everybody's making money out here. So learn how to do it. All right, on to ChainLINK. The ChainLINK Fall Hackathon has officially started. So you may be wondering, why has Link been pumping all of a sudden? I've been waiting over a freaking year for Link to do something, and now it's pumping. And it's because this Fall Hackathon. It's not too late to sign up. This week, learn how to code, build with Avalanche, because ChainLINK is moving into Avalanche, and build an NFT using Filecoin. Okay, so notice all these have been pumping. Link has been pumping, Avalanche, AVAX, and then Filecoin, FIL. All of them have been pumping, and this is why. All right, so moving on to one of the things that has been pumping is SHIB, okay? And this is what they call a meme coin, even though it does have utility. I found out there's a video that you can watch on that over on Coin Bureau. So, but everybody, not everybody, a lot of people talk like, oh, SHIB's going to get to $1. So this is a visual representation of what it would take for Shiba Inu to get to $1, because people don't understand market cap. If you don't get market cap, then go back through my videos. I talk about it all the time. Market cap's more important than price, but people get into this space thinking, oh my God, Shiba Inu is 0.0001 or 0.0006, I think it's at right now. That's amazing. I can own millions of them. So what if it gets to $1? All right, let's try a more visual representation of what would happen for even a target of 0.001 to hit. This says but what you repeat 24 of the most historic months ever. So this is the run that just happened for Shiba Inu, which has been amazing. I think it's like 600%. It's like multiplied like 7 times. Okay. In order for it just to get to 0.001, you just need to do this month 24 times. Okay. And then you'll get to 0.001. All right. So what would it take to get to $1? Okay. People have to realize this. When they do realize this, it's going to tank. That's my thought. But if you're making money off it, good for you. Just remember to pay yourself. Take your profits. All right, and one of my favorite projects, Helium. It's HNT, ticker HNT, has been blowing up. Helium is basically, it's a hotspot. You order a device, you mine HNT, and you offer Wi-Fi to people. Just tried to buy one last week, but it sold out in an hour, and I didn't get to it in time. That was just from one manufacturer. The other manufacturers that I found, it takes 6 months to get. So I haven't pulled the trigger on that. But Helium taps Dish network for crypto-powered 5G rollout. So they had regular hotspot, now they're talking about a 5G. Dish network customers can earn HNT tokens, rewards for deploying a 5G node, and expanding the distributed network. So this is a grassroots hotspot protocol. And that's essentially what's happening, and the price has been pumping since then. All right, so if you have any questions, comment below. If there's anything you want to learn more about, comment below. And I hope everybody's having a great day. Go out there and get those gains. Talk to you guys later.